You're not gonna come here to get the basic, usual stuff. You're gonna come here because it's different.
Most people meet chocolate at its final stage, wrapped, smooth, and ready to be savored. But very few actually know the artistry and care that go into crafting every bar. Chocolate making is a very long journey, beginning with a single cocoa bean, crossing oceans and continents before being roasted, ground, and transformed into the bar you hold in your hands. Before Maison Choc, bean-to-bar factories were pretty much unheard of in Egypt. Yet one sleepless night, years ago, Chef Clara Dayoub's curiosity about the chocolate-making process began to sprout, eventually blossoming into Egypt's first bean-to-bar chocolate factory.
So I've always been a cooking child. All of the Thursdays when I was a child, we used to go home and we used to bake. But I always considered it a passion and not really like a hobby more than a career shift. So I went to university and I did business and I thought this is where I was gonna go, like very corporate infrastructure. And while I was studying it, I started realizing that I was cooking for myself and my friends and hosting these dinner parties and making these huge amounts of foods for everybody. And I was like, okay, there's something there because I am actually having so much fun doing that. I decided to do an internship in the Four Seasons here in Cairo. And this is where the first department they put me in was the chocolate department. So I realized that I had this huge passion for chocolate because it's a very interesting product. And then one night I was thinking about everything I know how to make. And I was thinking about how I know how to transform chocolate and I know how to manipulate it and I know how to work with it, but I don't know how it's made. What happened is that I did not sleep till 7 a.m. And all I was doing was watching videos on how chocolate is made and reading books. And I went onto my Amazon in the UK and I just purchased my first machine.
Clara's journey continued and she enrolled in Le Cordon Bleu, which is a culinary school in France. Then, she brought her expertise back to Egypt, determined to build something the country had never seen before.
One of the things here in Egypt, we have a culture about chocolate. We do love chocolate. We have a lot of chocolatiers, but we do not have bean-to-bar chocolate. Egyptians have never tried chocolate that's made fresh. And I thought that this was the moment to see how they would react to chocolate that's actually made fresh, that's made within that month. And that tastes extremely different from the mass-produced one.
Finally, it was time to give the idea a home.
To make the shop, it took a lot of time. I was working on making the shop for at least 3 years. Between choosing the location, deciding on how it's going to be set up, how it's going to look, what machines I'm going to use, what varieties of cocoa beans I'm going to get. So that took a lot of time. So I had to travel all the way to Italy, visit multiple machine manufacturers. And I wanted, when I opened my shop, to be able to have multiple varieties. We know about that with coffee. So we've tried coffee from Brazil and Colombia, and now people understand and they know what their flavors are. But when it comes to chocolate, no one has any clue of what it is. So it was very important for me to have stocks of multiple and different origins to be able to show people how chocolate from Indonesia can taste extremely different from Madagascar or from Brazil.
And so Clara went ahead and brought in her first cocoa beans. But since Egypt had never seen anything like it, the airport was pretty much full of questions.
Which was that actually there's no custom codes for cocoa beans here in Cairo. It's the first time it was brought into the country. So they didn't know what it was. And we had to work on making our own custom codes. We had to explain as well to the authorities what it was and what we were going to do with it. Wallahi, we're just going to make chocolate. This is just really how we're going to make chocolate.
With the main ingredients sorted out, it was finally time for all that expertise to come to life here in this kitchen. This is where the magic really happens. And just look at how decadent that chocolate looks. It's so creamy and rich and okay, just watching from afar is not gonna be enough. I had to go in there and see for myself.
Hi, Clara.
Hi, Angie.
So I'm ready to make some chocolate. Let's do this. Tell me everything. How do we do this?
All right, so you actually came at the right time because we're actually making some bean to bar chocolate right now. So you'll be one of the only people that have done it, except my team, that have done it in our whole factory from scratch. So you'll see each and every step.
That's so exciting. I'm ready.
All right, let's go. So we're going to start by roasting. What you're going to do is you're going to put the cocoa beans that are unroasted inside the roasting machine. You're going to put it down, and then we're going to open it into the heat chamber. And after that, it's going to come out. It's going to be all cooled down, and then we're going to give that process 2 days. Okay? Good thing is we're doing another type of chocolate. So we have the rest for the other type. So we're going to do the winnowing process where you're going to take the cocoa beans that have been already roasted, and we're going to take away the shell. It's basically, what it's going to do is basically going to break it apart and take away this that's on the inside and leave that outside. This we don't want in our chocolate. And then you're going to take the nibs. So this is when you've taken out the shell, it's going to be called nibs. You're going to take them and you're going to put them in a pre-grinder. This is where the cacao mass is going to come out. And then I have a couple of ingredients. We're going to be making milk chocolate today together. And we're going to take cocoa mass, we're going to take milk powder, sugar, and cocoa butter, and we're going to put it into the ball mill. This is where the chocolate will be grinded to 25 microns. It's particle size that is small enough for you not to feel any granulates inside your mouth. It's going to come out, and then we're going to make some chocolate. There you go.
I cannot believe we made this. Oh my God. I mean, that was so much fun.
Yeah, it was very loud, very tiring.
But it
took a long time, but it's definitely worth it. So
okay, now it's time to try it. This is the best part.
Here you go.
Wow. Okay. So, do I just take a bite out of it?
Yeah.
All right.
Any way you want.
All right, let's do that. Oh my God. That is so good.
It's so much more like fresh and full of flavors. It really has a character to my eyes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting hands-on in the kitchen showed us the care behind every bar, a philosophy that carries through all Maison Choc creations. Speaking of their creations, Maison Choc is already changing the chocolate landscape in Egypt, but the journey doesn't stop here. Clara continues to innovate, exploring new flavors, techniques, and experiences that really push the boundaries of what chocolate can be.
So our product range is endless and it's still growing, I have to say. Initially, we started with chocolate bars, dragées, breakable tablets, and bonbons and truffles. Throughout time, as we were testing out some product, we got the sablés out. We have some cookies. Now we have a cake. We've developed as well drinks, so coffees, mochas, hot chocolates, and our ice cream range. But everything is within the realm of chocolate.
Chocolate can take so many shapes and forms. But what's even more interesting is that even though the cocoa beans come from really far away, Clara still manages to give her chocolate a distinctly Egyptian touch.
We try to, as much as we can, use locally sourced ingredients, whether it's in our sun-dried tomato and basil truffles, with our raw material and ingredients. Of course, there are things that don't grow in Egypt, like the cocoa beans or like the hazelnuts, almonds, pistachios. They don't grow here, so we can't get them. But anything we can get from Egypt, we'll get it from the local market. And also it's like playing around with actual Egyptian flavors. That's very interesting. That's stuff that we've played around with a lot. I've went from going with very ancient pharaonic Egyptian ingredients, like something called a tiger nut, to very ba'lawa, very Egyptian current products.
As demand for premium products grows across the region, Maison Choc is carving its place in a competitive market, balancing craftsmanship with growth and creativity with quality. But that's not all. At Maison Choc, creating chocolate means taking responsibility for the planet and for every part of the process behind each bar.
We try to be something that's extremely important to our identity is sustainability. So I consider that because we are a bean-to-bar chocolate factory, we make our chocolate from the source. We have a responsibility for the planet, to the plants, and to take care of it. So that's why that's why most of our packaging inside the store is eco-friendly. And I think this is also something that's inside the kitchen. I'm trying to be a zero-waste kitchen as much as possible. Sometimes this makes us go through more expensive packaging or more expensive ingredients because we want to be on the sustainable side. But it is very much our identity and it's very important for us.
At the end of the day, the care, creativity, and dedication behind each bar come together in what Clara hopes people feel when they think of Maison Choc.
So I think being unique and different is something that I want people to remember us by, but also being authentic towards the products that we serve and the quality that we have available in the store.
From curiosity to creation, what began as a spark has grown into an experience that really raises the bar for chocolate craft in Egypt and tells a story worth savoring.